Welcome to Pisto's world of stories. They say a father is his daughter's first hero. But what happens when the hero isn't there to save her? This is the story of Edwin Thompson, a man who lost everything and risked it all to take justice into his own hands. Edwin Thompson was a hard-working man, 45 years old, raising his only daughter, Clara, after losing his wife during childbirth. Clara was 22, beautiful, full of life, and the very center of his world. One quiet evening, Edwin sent her to pick up a few things from the grocery store. Clara walked down the lonely street, humming a soft melody, a gentle smile on her face. But what she didn't know was that 3 men were following her. Before she could even cry for help, they dragged her into a dark corner. They stole her laughter, shattered her innocence, and left her broken. On the cold ground lay her phone, still glowing, and the groceries she had just bought, scattered across the dirt. Back at home, Edwin was pacing the floor, his eyes locked on the wall clock, calling her phone again and again with no answer. Just as he was about to leave the house in panic, his phone rang. Relief washed over him when he saw her name flash across the screen, "My sweet Candy." But when he answered, it wasn't Clara's voice. It was a deep, stern voice that froze his blood. "Hello, sir, are you the victim's relative? I'm afraid you need to come right away. There's been an incident. A body was found at 29th Street. The phone slipped slightly from Edwin's trembling hand as a single tear rolled down his cheek. He rushed to the address, his heart racing, but when he arrived, it was too late. The body had already been taken to the hospital. Hours later, the truth was confirmed. Clara had been attacked, brutally assaulted, and she was gone. Edwin wept like a child. He screamed, begged, and prayed, but no prayer brought Clara back. Day by day, night by night, he walked into the police station, demanding answers, begging for justice. He wanted to see the monsters who had destroyed his daughter pay for what they did. But every time, Chief Commander Fredo Greek gave him the same cold reply: "We're still investigating. Be patient. Your daughter is not the first victim, and she won't be the last. We have other cases that need attention." Those words cut deeper than any knife. To the system, Clara was just another name on a file. But to Edwin, she was his entire world. One night, his voice cracked as he pointed a trembling finger at the commander. "If you don't find them, I swear, I will. I will take justice into my own hands." The officers called after him as he stormed out of the station, but Edwin didn't look back. For 2 long years, he lived in agony. Every sunrise was another reminder that the killers were still free. Every sunset was a cruel whisper that justice was never coming. And slowly, pain turned into anger. Anger turned into fire. And that fire was waiting for the day it would finally burn. Asterisk until one night, Edwin was walking down the streets, clutching a half-empty bottle of liquor. His eyes were red, his steps heavy. Grief had made him a shadow of the man he once was. But then, fate intervened. Around a dimly lit corner, he overheard laughter. 3 men, young, careless, in their late 20s, were bragging, mocking, and laughing about the night they had taught a girl a lesson. Their words were cruel, heartless, and suddenly, Edwin's heart froze. He knew. Deep inside, he knew they were talking about Clara. In that moment, something inside him snapped. The bottle slipped from his hand and shattered, just as his last shred of restraint did. From that night forward, Edwin had only one mission: to make them pay. He watched them, followed them, learned their routines. And then, one by one, he hunted them down. To the world, they were 3 nameless men. But to Edwin, they were monsters. And he made sure they never hurt anyone again. But justice taken outside the law always comes with a price. Soon enough, Edwin was arrested. In the courtroom, he stood tall, his face hardened by grief, his hands trembling, but his eyes unshaken. To some, he was a murderer. To others, he was a grieving father who had lost everything. When the judge gave him a chance to speak, Edwin's voice cracked with pain. "My only daughter, the one whose laughter lit up my world, was abused, hurt, and in the process, her life was stolen from her. I begged for justice, I pleaded with the police to do their job, but nothing was done. And when no one fought for her, I did. I took justice into my own hands. And this is what I get. To stand here, charged like a criminal. Edwin's voice rose, echoing across the silent courtroom. The judge leaned forward, his face heavy with sorrow. Mr. Thompson, I am truly sorry for the loss of your daughter. But no matter how deep your pain, you cannot take the law into your own hands. For this, you are sentenced to 6 years in prison. The gavel struck. The sound echoed like a final nail in Edwin's heart. As guards led him away, Edwin felt the weight of the world crush him once again. Inside his prison cell, he sat on the cold floor, tears streaming down his face. And then, in the stillness of the night, he felt a presence. He looked up and there she was. Clara, his daughter. Her spirit, radiant and smiling, standing just a few feet away. "Daddy, don't cry," she whispered softly. "Thank you for fighting for me." Tears blurred his vision as he reached out for her, but his hands touched nothing but air. Father and daughter cried together, one from the living, one from beyond, bound forever by love, yet separated by fate. 6 years passed slowly, each day carved with loneliness and regret. But when Edwin finally stepped out of those prison gates, the world felt different. The air was fresher, the sky brighter, yet his heart was still heavy with the memory of Clara. He didn't return to his old house. Too many ghosts lingered there. Instead, he moved to a quiet town, where nobody knew his name, and began again from nothing. He worked simple jobs, saved every coin, and little by little rebuilt his life. But even as he tried to live again, he never forgot his daughter. In the corner of his new home, he placed her photograph, Clara, smiling as if the world belonged to her. Every morning before stepping out, Edwin would pause, touch the frame, and whisper, "Good morning, sweet Candy." And every night, before sleeping, he would whisper again, "Good night, my hero." Edwin Thompson had lost everything, but he found a way to keep going, not out of strength, but out of love. Because even though Clara was gone, she remained his reason to fight, his reason to live, and his reason to start fresh. This is not just a story of revenge, it's the story of a father's unbreakable love. Tell me, if you were in Edwin's shoes, what would you have done?